Hello everyone, my name is Vineha and I welcome all of you to CL Pune. Today we are going to speak about something that is very important and a question that stresses maximum of you a lot, which is the strategy for the examination, or what to prepare, how to prepare, what all to read for the upcoming examination. So here is it. So now the IELT notification is out and it is said that the IELT is supposed to be conducted on 2nd of May, and most probably the Clat is going to be conducted on the second Sunday of the month of May, which generally is the trend that they follow. Now, speaking about 2020, let's call it as an exception because of the much talked COVID, right? But this year, let's suppose that it is going to go by the date. It is going to go by what is said. So now, considering that we have let's say 5 months remaining for us to prepare for these examinations. So what shall we do? What should we be focusing on? Now, simultaneously, all of you who are going to appear for Clat or the remaining examination this year will also have to focus on your board examination. Now, speaking about that, the state board examinations, the authorities have already announced it that the state board examination, they are going to be conducted in the month of May. Generally, which are conducted in the month of February, now they are postponed again to May. So now here's the catch. So now what the students, all of you who are going to appear for state board examination, will also have to look forward for your board examination, which is to be conducted in the month of May. Also for the IELT and Clat, which is also going to be there in the month of May. So considering both these situations or both of these things, let's try to understand how to balance it, how to go for it. Now, aisa to nahi ho sakta that we are going to, emphasize more on one examination and less on the other examination. We cannot do so because both the examinations are equivalently important. So here is what we can do. We are in the month of December, mostly we've crossed half of December also. The first thing that I would suggest all of you to do is finish up all of your syllabus till 31st of December. Now, when I say all of your syllabus is downloading the content. Now, again, downloading means you do not have to go over any, site or anything. Excuse me for those lame things. Anyway, so yeah, you have to keep studying. You have to finish studying. You have to finish understanding the concepts for each your individual and a respective section, that is, let's say legal reasoning, let's say logical reasoning, quant, English, GK. So anything and everything that you think is as a concept, theoretical concept, should be downloaded, should be fed in your brain thoroughly till 31st of December. That's one thing you can do, so that post December, what we can focus on is to getting finesse over our attempts, is to getting finesse over our accuracies, and realizing what our strengths are, realizing what our weaknesses are, and accordingly we can focus on our weaknesses, how to improve them, how to cope up with those weaknesses, and to reach up to a point where we'll be like, okay, now I'm ready for the examination. So first thing is, I want all of you to finish up downloading, finish up understanding the concepts thoroughly by the end of December. Now, second and the most important thing is post then what? Now, I wouldn't say simultaneously. You may take up mocks, you may, start giving tests and all. But once you are done with understanding the concepts thoroughly, is the next thing what I would suggest you all to do is take up mocks. Okay, now it must have happened so that all of you must have already taken a lot of mocks. What to do with them? Those are the things, those are the mocks which are going to help you. Those are the things which are going to help you to analyze what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. So before just before when you go and give new mocks, I would want all of you to go back to those mocks which you've already attempted, which may tell you, which may give you an assessment of yourself. Go through those mocks, analyze where did you go wrong, why did you go wrong, which is the section which you think is can be kept aside for some time, and the section which you need to focus on. So those are the mocks, those are the places, those are the areas which will help you to analyze कि अभी आगे जाके हमें किस सेक्शन में ज़्यादा ध्यान देना है, किस सेक्शन में हम थोड़ा कम ध्यान दे सकते हैं. You are not supposed to keep aside anything at all. Like okay ठीक है, अब लीगल में अच्छा आ रहा है या फिर मैथ्स में अच्छा आ रहा है तो इसको पूरा बाजू में रख देते हैं. That's not what you're something that's not something what you're expected to do. But then distribute your time, bifurcate your time, which section is to be spent more time on, which section is to be spent a little less time than the other section. So that's second thing what I would suggest you to do. Third thing, well not actually third thing, whenever you sit down to study, the first thing that may come to your mind is what to study in GK, because I believe GK is something that is anything and everything under the sky. So हम क्या पढ़ें, कहाँ से पढ़े, what do we study, what all do we study, from where till where should we study. So ideally what the Clat consortium suggests is that you should know the current affairs from the month of January of the year in which you are going to appear for the examination till the month of the examination. So let's say for all of you, the consortium suggests that you should know the current affairs from January 2021 till May 2021. Right, that's the ideal period what you should know the current affairs from. But let's say if it happens so that you are asked about something which is prior to January, then there's a catch. Then you may not know. You may lose out on a potential mark because GK is something which is a scoring section. So what we can do here is, to be on a safer side, I would suggest you to start preparing the current affairs from the month of August 20 till month of May 2021, right? So a substantial period of August 20 till April 2021 would give you sufficient amount of information, would give you sufficient amount of knowledge to appear for the current affairs section. Right, this is just to be on a safer side. This is the period which I feel you should be thorough with. That's one about your GK. Now we also have to remember while preparing for these examinations. Now there are, earlier there used to be an uniform pattern of preparing for the examination because the paper patterns for all the examinations used to be same. But it is not the same anymore. Why is because Clat has a completely different paper pattern, and IELTS, SLAT and MHCT would have a different paper pattern. Now along with your boards, you also have to keep a balance between these two paper patterns, right? So for Clat, what I would suggest you is, let's club 3 sections for once and let's keep 2 sections aside. Now for example, GK, English and legal. I'm going to club these 3 sections together with respect to their preparation. Why is that so? Because Clat is a purely comprehensive based paper pattern, right? So which means you need to know a lot of things, because there isn't anything which can be told to you like this is something which you're going to get, these are the topics on which your passages would be asked. So the scope here is very huge, the scope here is very vast, which is why I would suggest you to keep reading. Now again, the question is what to read. Alright, so you may read the periodicals, you may read the newspapers, you may read the articles. The basic idea is that you should be knowing about the recent updates, recent happenings that are ongoing around the nation and around the world. Now, why am I asking you to do so? Because anything that is current is going to help you to do the GK section. Anything that is going around would also avail you to solve the passages in legal section. Simultaneously, it is also going to aid you to solve the passages which are going to be there in English section. Right. So one thing with respect to preparation, your approaches definitely have to be different. They are definitely going to be different. But with respect to having it in your brain, this can be called as a common platform wherein you can prepare for 3 sections together. Remaining is your quant and logical reasoning. Definitely that is going to be different with respect to these 3 sections, right? But these 3 sections, agar aap periodicals, newspaper, articles, ye sara cheez padhte ho, then definitely you can understand, you can comprehend the things better. Here is what I'm going to tell you. Now, for example, let's talk about the Ayodhya verdict. Okay. Now, I have there's a possibility that I may get a passage on this in English section also. There's a possibility I may get a passage on this in a legal section also. Why? Because English would be something. In English, you would be getting a passage on something what happened around this topic. In legal, they may take a particular legal principle and develop a content, right? But whenever you get a particular passage on this, you already are aware about that topic, which is going to help you to comprehend faster, read faster, and definitely answer faster, which is going to save time for you to concentrate on the other section. But then there is a drawback also here. Many times what happens is, when we already know about something, we are sitting there with a prejudiced mind, right? Okay, I know about this, so I am just going to skim through the passage. That is exactly what you are not supposed to do. Why? Because we may be aware about the content, but we don't know what exactly is the content, right? And what I always keep telling you is, you cannot apply your outer knowledge. It is definitely going to make you go wrong in the question. So the whole point is, be aware about the content, but don't be prejudiced about the content, right? Being aware about the content is only going to help you to comprehend faster, to save your time there. That's the only agenda behind you reading it, right? So third thing, like for GK, you got to read all of this thing. For Clat, right, it is going to help you even for the other examination. Now, coming on to the other paper pattern of the examination, let's say CET, SLAT and IELT. You are not expected to read a lot, you are not expected to comprehend, you are expected to comprehend, but the approach, the pattern of your preparation is not going to be similar for these kind of examination. Why? Is because the pattern is different. Here you have principle based questions, or you have in GK you have one-liners, right? But how would we balance this? So along with the readings, you also have to keep practicing the questions. You also have to keep practicing the sections in the traditional method, what we generally do. Like not for the comprehension, but like we solve the principle based questions for the legal section, we keep solving the equations, the problems for quant, we keep solving the sets for logical reasoning, we keep solving the one-liners for GK, and then we keep solving passages for the English. So that is one thing which you can, set off with the Clat paper pattern. But for the remaining 4 sections, you also have to keep practicing the questions also. That's one thing. So keep a balance. Don't only focus on Clat. Definitely Clat is one of the most important examination, but just don't subside the remaining examination, because a lot of you must be appearing for all the examination. So ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि Clat का ही preparation करते करते we just fell short for the other examination, right? So that's one thing which is very important. Along with all these things, don't forget you all also have to appear for your board examination. I wouldn't tell you to focus only on these examinations, because that is equivalently important. So how should we do it? What should we do in such a case is, let's say if you are spending 5 hours for your competitive examinations for like Clat, IELT and the other examination, also spend 5 hours for your boards. Right? Why am I saying so? Because if you all are just preparing Clat for now, and then you're going to, you're thinking probably you're just going to keep it aside at the time of your boards, that's not how it works. Because what will happen is you may have to start from the start again later when you pick up Clat. Right? So keeping a balance will help you not to start afresh, but you can just resume directly. Right? So if you're spending 5 hours for these examination, also spend 5 hours for your board, so that you keep a balance and you do not have to hog on to everything at one particular point of time. right? Also, as I've already mentioned, we are not very sure about the dates for your boards examination. तो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि मई में ही आपके बोर्ड्स के भी एग्जाम्स है और मई में ही आपके बाकी के एग्जामिनेशन है. That is just going to bring you into a situation where there will be a lot of hustle, where there will be a lot of rush and confusion. So try and avoid this overlapping of things. Try and avoid overlapping of studies. So be very strategic when you are preparing for a particular examination. Right now, another one of the most question that always pops in your head is how to prepare for legal section with respect to Clat as an examination. Again, I will tell you now. Definitely, if you are thorough with whatever the legal updates are, if you know what the legal updates are, it is definitely going to help you to understand the passage better. One. Second, do not only focus on that. Let me give you a small hint. There's a possibility, and if you all have solved mocks, then you must be aware of this, कि बाकी के content के साथ साथ you also get certain passages which are based on those theories which we have already covered. For example, I may get a passage on let's say consideration in contract, right? So do not worry about it, because when you're solving principle based question, वो आपका already cover हो रहा है, right? So what I'll tell you is, when you're solving principle based question, also try to acquire the theory to the top, to the tip of it, so that अगर उसके ऊपर आपको कोई passage भी आ जाता है, then you are not in a confusion, what is it, what is not. So आपको basically you have to be prepared, you have to be very aware about the content, so that whenever any further content is developed on it, all you have to do is just read through it. Comprehension का वहाँ पे ज़्यादा issue नहीं होना चाहिए, right? Similarly, don't only focus on GK and legal. There are other sections also which are equivalently important. Keep practicing for logical reasoning, keep practicing for quant as well. All the 5 sections are very very important. किसी एक section से ही आपको सारे marks मिल के, you're not going to achieve the ultimate goal over there. So keep a balance for your preparation for all the examinations. Spend a strategized time. Don't spend 8 hours today and then 1 hour tomorrow and then again 2 hours. Don't be like don't be unequal in that. I will not expect you to sit down and study for 12 hours. Ideally it's not possible, but we can sit for 4 to 5 hours और उतना ही रखो. Be consistent in your timing. Don't let the inconsistency hamper your preparation, right? Along with this, one of the highlights is what I'll tell you is, keep solving the mocks. Whether you're scoring good, whether you're scoring bad, that's not relevant right now. Mocks are going to help you to understand what is your progress, what is the level of your improvement. It may happen so that today you may get good marks in logical. It may happen so because you got good marks in logical, you may keep it aside for a bit and start focusing on the other section. Then you may you may see it that okay, अब logical में थोड़े कम हो रहे हैं. So this is the giving mocks is obviously going to equip you with the knowledge कि कहाँ पे हमें focus करना है, कहाँ पे हम कम पढ़ रहे हैं, where are we good, where are we not good. So keep giving mocks, keep assessing your progress and your development. Now, if you can't do it alone, ideally what is suggestive is you should give marks, analyze your marks, understand where you've gone wrong, go to your respective mentors. You can speak to your respective mentors, or of course you can speak to Miraj sir about it. You can of course go and ask him, discuss with him what are your shortcomings, what are your difficulties. You can do it with your mentors, whoever basically you are comfortable with. But the important point is, the basic idea is that you know what you're doing, you know where you're going wrong, and you know the exact strategy how to go about it to improve in that, right? Try doing this and let me know if this works out, and I'll be here to solve any queries. Also, do not forget to subscribe this and like this video. Thank you very much.